Hi, how you doing? This is G here again. First thing, I just wanted to say thank you. It's for all the support and everything from the last video. Like I said, this community is very united, and we definitely are there for each other. You can definitely feel that. Thanks for everybody that reached out, just with words of support and questions that I was happy to answer. One of the main things that everybody, well, the people that reached out that were asking about was um, just what it's like the first few days right before the procedure, and why I keep referring to the first week as just being awful and just terrible. So I figure maybe I touch on that a little bit. You know, um, in my case, I went to the hospital on a Monday and had the procedure done on Thursday, so it kind of happened, sort of fast. But from what I see, some people have it scheduled, maybe a couple of weeks ahead, or by the time you get in the hospital, it's 7, 10 days. I guess sometimes if you're just dreading it or just thinking about it, your mind can take you places. There's more time to get nervous and just worried about what's gonna happen. But I mean, in my case, yeah, I guess by the time I got in, I was in pretty bad shape, so everything really happened very fast. But I can definitely go over some of that, like, once everything is set and your date is set, um, well, first for one of the first things they do is that they give you what they put in what's called a swan line in your neck. Now once that's in, they definitely want to try to keep you in bed. Um, so at that point, it becomes a thing of even going to the bathroom. You definitely want to talk to your nurses. If you're able to walk around, definitely make a point. Because at that point, you're definitely going to be in the room that it has its own bathroom. You kind of sat there for a while, so um, at least that was one of the main things for me. I definitely I want to say fought for it, but I definitely made it a point to tell them like, listen, you need to at least give me that. So the night before, you're gonna have maybe one or two IVs on you, plus the swan line. Um, I think you can still eat until midnight. They tell you, 10 midnight. I can't remember. But during the day, just try to eat something light. Maybe it'll help you just ease up and just feel a little more comfortable through the day. I would like to tell you to try to get some rest that night. But I didn't. I just couldn't. And the fact that usually at that point, everybody's trying to, at least at night, everybody comes and gets blood. Like in my case, I think it was like 11, then 2:30, and then 5. So unless you can sleep through that, it's kind of hard to actually get a good night's rest. But my procedure was about 7 a.m. So honestly, like I said, I was up pretty much the whole night, and then after the last blood workup around 5, I just stayed up. Um, they let me see my wife right before it, so that was very nice. It gave me a little oomph. I was definitely nervous. It's normal. I definitely have full confidence in my team. They're all fantastic there at St. Francis. But you always have that little thing in the back of your head. You really never know. Everything has a risk. Um, but at least for me, seeing her and just feeling the love or just the kiss or anything, just at least in my case, made me feel like I could do it. Like I could, the woman makes me feel like I can do anything. Uh, so I do thank her for that. But yeah. Anyway, so then the anesthesiology comes and they sort of explain what they're gonna do, and at this point your team should have already gone through all that with you, but they still do anyway. Um, they take you in and they give you some medicine, and at that point you just going for a nap. very long nap. My surgery took about, I think it was about 5 6 hours. Now the plan is to basically you go in, everything's out, and they try to wake you probably like at the end of the day. Like I said, mine was early in the morning, and they just try to wake you just to basically check on you to make sure that you're sort of like aware. Um, and I sort of remember waking up, and obviously at that point you really can't move because you have you have the tube in your mouth, and it's just literally about a few seconds. Just you sort of like look around, and they just kind of ask you to nod or blink if you understand them, that type of thing, and then you go out again. Um, so let's say that my surgery was at 7, so they probably did that around maybe late evening. Then again, back to sleep. Now the next day it was a Friday, so they woke me up probably at like 8 9 a.m. and literally within the 5 minutes of being awake, they take the breathing tube out. Um, which yeah, it's like take a deep breath and boop, basically just comes out. Definitely gonna feel sore. Your throat's gonna feel like you just had a bad cold. You're gonna be so thirsty. At the beginning, they try to just give you very little water, just so you don't, like overdo it and just get some type of when you throw it. But usually give you like little ice, or like I said, a little bit of water. And through the day, like honestly, within hours, you just feel much better. Um, it depends on your status. They might wait a little bit to have you try to stand up. But the first thing they did was they try to move me to the chair, just to sort of like start getting everything uh, in like the best. I don't want to say comfortable, but there's a reason why you have to avoid the because at that point, once you come out of the surgery, it's not just the incision. You'll have 3 tubes like right below the incision. That's where like all the waste comes out. Um, on top of the swan line, at least in my case, I had 2 other lines on the other side of the neck. I had 4 IVs. One actually was right on my wrist, on my left hand, but when the time came to take it out, it like nick or pinch something on my nerves in my hand. So when I woke up, I couldn't feel these 3 fingers. Like I had nothing here. Now actually it's been a month, and I started to feel it. Like definitely like this and this are definitely much better, but the pinky is still numb. But the beginning is kind of freaky because like for example, you're trying to make a phone call, you're on the phone with somebody, and your hand just sort of like gives out. Um, but that again, that doesn't happen to like everybody. They just happen to when my line came out. Um, so yeah, so that's you're gonna feel very very uncomfortable. Your chest is gonna hurt. Just obviously, you know, the incision. Basically break your sternum, open it. If you're lucky, that's really the the main thing. But sometimes what happens is that when they open it, they can either fracture or break your ribs, and that's a whole other thing. I still feel a little bit on my left side. It didn't fully break, but definitely some type of something happened there. It got like purple, like it got beat up. But again, that's sort of like case by case. Don't expect it, but be aware of it that could be a chance. Um, so then the tubes, it there's 3 like I said, and they basically go inside up all the way to the back of your lungs, up here behind the chest. And so like sometimes even if you have like a slight move or even if you turn a little bit, it feels like somebody's stabbing you from the inside. So that's very very uncomfortable. Sometimes even if you're in bed, like I said, laying down for too long or sitting for too long, it starts to bother. So even when you're trying to adjust yourself like a little bit, it does hurt. I mean, it's part of it. That's kind of what I was getting at the beginning. Like that first week, the first few days, it's pretty awful. It's terrible. So do take the pain medication. That's basically part of the whole thing. They try to manage your pain because you have to be comfortable at the same time. You have to be able to push yourself because probably at the end of the first day, they might want you to try to walk around a little bit. Obviously, usually somebody comes, either the physical therapist or some of the nurses and aides. And yeah, that first walk is hard. I mean, I remember I did do it the first day at a walker, and then basically, yeah, the two nurses, one on each side, basically two IVs completely loaded and carrying the LVAD kit. But we did it, and it was hard. With the beginning, that was maybe I couldn't even do the whole circle. I just did like a little bit of the unit, and then back down. And yeah, I mean it hurts. It feels like everything is pulling down, and where the drive line comes out. At least when I stood up, is when I really felt it. When I was sitting down and laying down, not so much. It just felt like the skin gets a little irritated. Um, but again, the pain medication, it'll numb it. It won't completely make it go away. But as the day goes by, it gets so much better. Like then the second day, one of the tubes came out. They basically again, they usually do the morning rounds, so you'll see them walk around and do all that. So when that first tube comes out, oh my god, it feels like somebody lights something inside you, and you can take a deep breath, and it feels a little better, and it starts getting like that because everything happens, yeah, within those like 3 to 4 days, I guess. Every day a new tube comes out, depending on how much stuff you're still putting out. But yeah, once the last one comes out, and you can take that full, oh, it's like night and day. It really does. And at that point, you're probably doing your physical therapy, walking around maybe 2, 3 times a day. Now I was lucky that when I got out of the surgery, and the pump really kicked in, everything inside me just kind of like restarted. So there was a lot of the medication or drugs that usually when you come out, you have to be on like water pills or blood pressure and some of the other stuff. I didn't need it. So like all my organs like literally just like started coming back. I mean, at this point, my kidney function and my liver, everything it's really good. Um, so I was able to, I guess, move a little faster, and I was only in the hospital for 8 days after surgery. Usually it's maybe 2 weeks, maybe even more. Um, and yeah, I mean it is hard, but again, I can't even put it in a better way. Just every day gets easier. Every day gets a little better. Um, Things start to hurt less. Uh, if you have any hobbies, bring them with you. I rewatch Breaking Bad. Play video games. Because there is some downtime, and some of those things will take away from the pain sometimes. I mean, even now. I mean, it's been, like I said, it's been a month. Yesterday and today are really good days. I feel okay. Friday actually, I woke up and I was just sore, like my chest up here and everything. At this point, I'm just taking Tylenol. I'm not taking any of the other stuff. Your body, will starts coming back. So if you have any other questions, if there's anything that I can answer for you, or um, you know anything that can make you feel better about what's coming, or if you're dealing with it right now, reach out. That's basically why I'm doing this. Or well, to be honest with you, it's also good. I like talking about it. It helps me a little bit, I think, and it might help you. Just talking to somebody that that's going through it. Um, so let's be here for each other. Again, I'll post this in all the groups, YouTube. So if you have any questions, if you just want to say something or anything, let's support each other. Have a great day.